too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. Happy Tuesday, Nasties. How you doing out there? It's Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas, Zach Kubusch in the house. The mood is a little down after the Oilers drop another game to the last place in the East, Buffalo Sabres. We're going to break it all down. Oh, yes, we are. Welcome. Edmonton Sports Talk, live from the William Huff Studios. Go see Bruce and the crew. They're the best in the city. In North America, I'd say. They're awesome. Texas, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. Let's get to over 100 again. Fun show. At 125-ish, we're going to have a quick chat with our guy, Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show. Also does Oil Kings games, the color analyst there. They've clinched the playoff spot.
I know, it's great.
Well ahead of the end of the season, and first time since 2022 when they won it all. They'll be heading back to the postseason. So fun. You're going to have the Oilers in the playoffs. You're going to have the Oil Kings in the playoffs. Great stuff for Edmonton. 140. Highlights, lowlights. You're going to want to tune in.
Who do you think lasts longer in the playoffs?
Ooh, good. That's an excellent question. I'll go Oil Kings right now. All right. At 2 o'clock, another edition of Heat and Smoke. Koob's going to bring the heat. Extremely tough questions. The first two goes around. I think Gager, we combined for two, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, this time it's obscure 1930s facts, guys. I'm kidding.
Going decade by decade. At 2:20, our good buddy Tim Hauraney, F1 and Indy Car insider, also from TSN. We're going to have some fun. Going to get down to it, and we're going to get to the disrespect that Joaquin is showing Team Haas right now. And then at 2:40, dun, 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 we will select our two winners to join us in the EST F1 Fantasy League. All the boys here have been set up already. We're ready to go. Two of you will be joining us. And for the people that don't get selected, I feel truly terrible. I do. It's going to hurt me. It's going to bug me. But we can only select two. Everybody did awesome. But when it came down to Gager and I met,
we went over them with a fine-tooth comb.
We went over them, and we had to pick two. You guys were all excellent. You guys are all worthy of being in this league. But we only have two spots with the potential for an extra one next year.
Well, Cadillac's coming in, so we'll add up something for next year, maybe.
So you want to be tuned in at 2:40. If you sent in an application, we will select two. I hope you don't hate us if you're not selected.
Well, just as long as you don't hate us as much as Skinner, we'll be fine.
Oh, Joaquin, do we have to get to this game? I'm like Oilers out right now.
You're a little fatigued?
I'm fatigued from the post-game show.
I bet.
And listening to everything today. It's just, listen, I think this wasn't an Anaheim game. I think for most of the part, they were the better team. But almost, and what ifs, it doesn't matter.
I don't care if you're the better team for 58 minutes. You still lost the game. That whole, finding small victories in losses, that's what you do with young, inexperienced teams.
Yeah.
Right? Not the oldest team in the league. This is those were 2 points that were necessary.
Yeah.
Could be the difference between home ice in the first round here. They're irresponsible and there's so many things. I mean, obviously we cut it to shreds, but again, they gave that game to the Buffalo Sabres.
They gave it, and it's costly defensive mistakes off the rush where they're struggling mightily this year off the rush. They can't defend it worth. And we're going to break it down in highlights, lowlights. So I don't want to get to all the goals right away because all 3 goals are ugly, Joaquin, like ugly. And if the Oilers don't get that part of their game fixed here quickly, they're going to be out. They're going to be out quick in the playoffs. And listen, they're without their best defenseman, Matthias Ekholm, but this was happening with them.
Yeah, no, this could have been the reason why he needs to stay home and recover right now, right? So Matthias, if there's anyone that could take 4 or 5 games off, the Oilers are a good enough team where they should win some with him out of the lineup, right? But to be at their best, they need him. But no, they need Matthias Ekholm to be closer to 100%, not 80, not 85, 95 and above.
He's getting a Bouchard break.
He's getting a Bouchard break?
A break from Bouchard.
Oh. I was like, what's a Bouchard break? Maybe I could use one of those.
Am I your Bouchard? What was that?
What was that?
Oh,
Guy.
Jeez.
I love it.
Guy Flaming. Legend around these parts. Still has the Alberta record for the longest punt.
Really?
In high school. Yeah. Think so. Well, it's a self-proclaimed record. I don't know if it's official.
This is in the River Cree inbox. 780-218-9999. No name on it. Out from the coast. Oh, it's Nate from Vancouver. Sorry, we'll put that in there. Nate, you from Kits? No, never mind. Do you think Bouchard can land Dahlin in a swap? Not a chance.
No. Hey, but listen, we heard Paul Hamilton yesterday say, like, they're going to have to move on from one of these guys.
See, I look a little bit more to my boy.
Bauer.
No.
Bowen Byram.
Yeah.
And he's probably the best of the bunch, man. He looked good yesterday.
The thing that you have with him, at least out of the other two, and they're Dahlin and Power are both great, but what you have is a guy that won before.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Okay, so lots in highlights, lowlights at 140. We're going to get to the goals, so we'll leave the goals out. And it has to do with Stuart Skinner. So I want to ask you this: with 18 games to go, I was just talking with Reed and the guys there in the bullpen while you were on 2 games. Is it fair to say this might not be the year that Stuart Skinner figures it out? Or with 18 games left, which he's probably going to play 14 of them, let's just say. Is this just Stuart Skinner right now for this year?
No.
You still believe it?
He's still young, and there's, unfortunately, with goaltenders, it's a little, the peaks and valleys are even more pronounced just because of the position, right? And you take the good with the bad. You're the hero or the goat the hero or the goat's not a good word. What animal? The bad chicken? I don't know, but
goat, because goat can mean 2 things, right? Like
I'm saying goat as in not the mule. I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a better animal. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to pull yourself out, because I think we can all agree that Stuart Skinner's a good goaltender. Right? He is a really good goaltender. I've seen what he is capable of. It is elite. Has it been there this year on a consistent basis? No, it has not. But I still have confidence that he can find his game and provide the type of goaltending that the Edmonton Oilers need to be successful.
Okay.
He's done it at every level. That's the thing. Right? So...
And Guy, good thing we're having him on, because Guy watched him in junior. And we'll see if obviously he's really young and it's kind of hard to compare the two, but how he was in junior. Did he go up and down, or was he just rock solid? So that's a good question too for Guy Flaming. What do you make of the no timeout? And listen, I understand if the other team's tired. I get it. But so were your guys. I mean, they were out there. They didn't even get a shot in the last 2 minutes of the game. Janmark's out there with just over 2 minutes to go. I don't know why. Out of the 12 forwards yesterday, that's the last guy I want on the ice when you need a goal. And that's no disrespect, but he has 2 goals, and he has yet to shoot one into the net. He's not offensive. Why is he out there? There's better options. But what did you make of the timeout? Are you okay with him not taking it there? Because there's that video circulating that Connor McDavid goes like this. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
He goes like this, and he's obviously mad at something. And now we can all assume it's the same thing with the Leon one a couple weeks ago when he kicked the bench and looked back, and we were all like, who's he looking at? What did you make of the no timeout?
But I think it's miscommunication is what it is. As a head coach, you might view things in a certain way, and if I'm Naba, the only reason I can come up with why he didn't call a timeout is because he thought he had the other team on the ropes, and he could still squeeze a bit more juice out of those guys. But irresponsible not to ask the guys that are going out there from what they were doing before if they needed a break or not.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And on the flip side, Connor McDavid has the most pull in those cases. If he realized, and that's the reason why he put up his hands like he needed a timeout, then go to the coach and call a timeout, or go to the ref and say timeout.
Yeah.
Or like take responsibility. I'm sure if he goes up to the ref timeout, he goes back and coach says, what's up? He goes, I can't go. I need a break.
Yeah.
He's going to say, okay. Right? Like sometimes Connor McDavid has the power of veto. And I know Matt Iwanek would like that because he watches that stupid show, but yeah, you gotta do what's best for the team. And if you're winded and can't do anything, you're not helping.
Here's some comments I just want you to listen to, and we'll discuss. Here's Chris Knobloch following last night's game. Oh wait, that didn't work. Give me a sec here, guys. You can keep talking, boys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hernan's trying to get his board set up, and
why isn't it working?
Zach
guys?
said it was working before. I blame Zach.
Hey, we didn't get her tested. Oh
no, it's not working.
Yeah, we're falling a bit flat.
Give me
like
a sec.
holes in it.
You know when this didn't happen last week when Brendan was here.
Oh yeah. It actually has nothing to do with Koob. It's more of a Hernan problem at this point.
Oh,
yeah.
This is like a Bouchard Pud Colson moment on that one goal, right, guys? Right, guys?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong, guys.
That's okay, buddy.
No, it's not okay because.
We'll figure it out during the break.
Yeah, I guess. Well, so much for that.
You can paraphrase what he said. What did he say?
Well, no, so Koob, look, it's right there. That's correct, right?
God, this is awesome. This is awesome for people that are listening to this. What I wore something today. Just a little.
Just don't worry about it.
Okay, I was going to tell the story of my when I was first drafted by the Edmonton Oilers. There was one thing that I wanted more than anything to buy because I was broke as a joke, and I'm wearing it today.
Yeah, you are.
It's my because they are the official timekeeper of this year's F1. There we go. I wore my Tag Heuer watch. It's the first thing I bought with my signing bonus as a young professional hockey player.
So I went online to look. One of their cheaper watches is only $8,305.
Well, I didn't sign for that much.
I mean, they're beautiful watches, but I would never pay that amount. But good for you, man. Show it again.
This is it's an older one, but it's I couldn't believe it because I hadn't worn it in a long time. It was dead. I actually had to take it in to get the battery changed on it. Great job, but still ticking.
Can I get it? Can you let me wear it once?
No.
Okay. Okay, here's Coach Knobloch following last night's game, and this should work.
Well, we got a couple days of practice, lots of time for some video, but I don't think any of that video is going to matter. I think we've been talking about it a lot. It's just about guys executing and finding that it's important part of the game. Making a play, making a nice pass, it's important. It's frustrating when some of the guys who aren't contributing offensively are contributing for scoring chances against, which is really hurting us. It's different if you're making those plays and it's leading to offense, and once in a while you get caught. But if you're not creating that offense and you're giving up those chances, that's what's hurting the team.
So a couple of things there. We'll watch video, we'll practice, but video's not going to help anymore.
No.
Right? This is right here.
That's
Like,
it's a mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset. You got to be willing to defend, will to get dirty, read the play, be a stronger on your stick. Don't go with one hand on the stick. There's just so many things. Lazy back checks. Video's not going to help any of that when it's March 11th. Okay, perfect. I like that. He pretty much called out Podkolzin. Seriously.
Well, that's what we assume, right?
Because he's talking about a guy that doesn't produce, and then he's hurting his team because he's turning it over and it's leading to goals. Now, Podkolzin's not the only one. It's just because yesterday it was fresh in our minds, right? And he kind of he gave it up at the blue line for the third goal, Joaquin. So for me, that's Podkolzin, but it also can extend to a lot of players on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that the major issue of this team is their play without the puck at this point, and not playing a game that or playing a game that makes it difficult on the other team. That's what it comes down to. You got to be hard on the other team's skill, and there seems to be not a willingness to play that style of hockey. We've heard them. Yeah, we're an experienced team. We know what it takes. Well, everyone knows what it takes, but saying it and doing it are two different things. So I want to see it. I mean, even in the really good games that the Oilers have played this season, I still don't find that they played at that level where you look at the other team at the end of the night and they look like they were in one. You know, they were just kind of beat down, where they really imposed their will not only on the skill side of the game, but also on the physical side of the game. And I don't mean, laying the boots to guys and fighting. I just mean hard on guys. Like every time they're getting popped.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And before we get to, I want to get to this, Gager. When he goes nuclear like he did yesterday early in the game, for me, it lets everybody off the hook. It's like, well, these guys are the only guys that are going to get us back in the game. The rest of you can go out there. Where was Nuge last night? I didn't even notice him unless he was turning the puck over in the final 2 minutes or on the power play. I thought Jeff Skinner at least showed up, hit the post, was in there digging pucks out, had a couple good looks. For me, it doesn't matter, because I heard you guys talking it on two guys. It doesn't matter what happens in the top six, Joaquin, because he's always going to go nuclear. So it doesn't matter.
So do you, when you look at the bottom six and you hear Coach Nabla talk about, and I'm just going to say Jeff Skinner in this case, where, we want him to play a certain way and it's gotten better, but he still isn't playing that way. Like, shouldn't those roles be defined by now in that bottom six? Because what is the bottom six?
No one knows.
Are they just supposed to go out there and do the same things that Connor and Leon do? Because that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, everyone
just goes out there and looks for offense.
Tries to be offensive.
Yeah. Tries to make something out of nothing.
Draw passes at the blue line.
And that's just, not everyone can play that style of play. I don't. The designation of roles, and that was kind of the mantra when Nabla came in, and there's certain identity of a team, but there's also individual identities of groups of players that are playing with one another. And I don't know what those are right now.
John Carlos says year 10 of McDavid, and the Oilers went nuclear against the Sabres. Yeah. And listen, we all know why he does it, but he does it so early. As soon as something bad happens, as soon as the other team scores the first goal, like yesterday, and it was a tie game, he goes nuclear. For me, he lets everybody off the hook, and then no one knows what the role is. So everybody's trying to be offensive, making plays they shouldn't be making. And I think he said this earlier on about another player. I just can't remember who. It's like, why are you trying to be doing what Draisaitl and McDavid? That's not you. Remember he said that? He said, stick to what your strengths are. Yeah. You're not Connor McDavid. You're not Leon Draisaitl. So for me, that's a big one. And it doesn't matter who your top six is when he goes nuclear. Every single time something goes wrong. Even when they're winning, sometimes he'll go Hyman, Draisaitl, and McDavid. And then like Gager makes a great point. No one else knows, hey, am I supposed to check here? Am I are we out here just to hold the other team's second line in check, or are we trying to score, or what's going on? So for me, it's just like there's no roles defined, and it's March 11th. There's 18 games left.
Like, because when you get into the playoffs, it's going to be the Kings, right? So then you kind of get into more line matching scenarios, and you're most like, who knows what it's going to be like, but in years past, you just knew who was going up against McDavid all the time. You knew Deneau was going to be out there, right?
Exactly.
Kopitar, when Leon, if they were split up, he was going out there, right? So I couldn't tell you if who's going to go and shut down or play hard against a McKinnon on this, or are they just going skill on skill and hope they outduel them that way? I just don't. Sure, you can do that sometimes, but you also need someone responsible that you can put out against the other team's top stars and shut them down, I think.
Yeah. It just, for me in the playoffs, if they play LA and they go nuclear, they're like, let's put
They're playing into their hands.
You're playing into their hands because they'll put their best pairing, Deneau, probably Trevor Moore, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Guys that play them tough and say, we shut them down, we win.
Yeah.
Because no one else is going to do anything on the other lines.
No.
It's rare.
We should be the coaches of the Los Angeles Kings. There we go.
We should be the coaches of the Oilers. How would you guys like Gage and Hernan to take over for Knob and
oh my God. The nasty chat would be awful.
I'd be calling out every player out there every game.
Unlimited access.
Yeah.
Have everyone in the hangout.
Yeah. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Coming up next, talk about the Edmonton Oil Kings as they're heading back to the postseason. Exciting times. Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show joins us next here on EST Afternoons. Here's our guy Koob with your sports update.
$11 games dot the NHL slate. The Avs and Wild drop the puck as the Canadiens and Canucks face off. Then the Panthers meet the Bruins, having Florida's Brad Marchand take his first skate with the team this morning. He remains out of the lineup on a week-to-week basis, with head coach Paul Maurice saying that he's hopeful Marchand can see some action before the playoffs. In the WHL, Red Deer and Moose Jaw go at it. The Blades battle the Pats before Seattle hits the road in Tri-City for 3 games around the league. And down south, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero are reporting that Daniel Jones and the Colts are closing in on a 1-year deal worth $14 million. NBA action sees Washington visit Detroit. The Cavs host the Nets. Clippers and Pelicans tip off as the Bucks and Pacers duke it out. And spring training continues for the Jays. Toronto and Minnesota are locked at 2 at the top of the 8th. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Guy Flaming joins Hernan and Joaquin on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
.127, welcome back to Edmonton Sports Talk. Here it's EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas, Zach Kubusch in the house. Keep the messages coming to the nasty chat. It's nasty. People are upset. River Korean Box 780-218-9999. But we're going to talk some junior hockey as the Edmonton Oil Kings clinched a spot in the playoffs for the first time since 2022 when they won it all, Joaquin. Dylan Gunther, Jake Neighbors, those boys were on that squad. I'm pretty sure. Well, we'll check in. Guy Flaming joins us, the Pipeline Show, color analyst on the Old Kings broadcast. Guy, how you doing, my friend?
Fantastic, guys. How are you?
Pretty good. You know, Oilerland's a little upset today, as you could imagine.
Man, I love Hernan. You're so awesome. I love it when you get, you get the mild salsa, the medium salsa, and you are the absolute spicy hot salsa. The post-game shows are a riot when the Oilers lose. The Oilers are not my team, so I don't care. I tune in when they lose because I know you're going ballistic.
Because you're a Philly guy, right?
I am, which means I don't get to celebrate a whole lot either. But
well, let's get the backstory. Why the Flyers?
This goes back. I cheered for the Oilers when I was a kid until they won their first cup, and then everything. I grew up in northern Alberta in Cold Lake, and everything was Oilers all the time. It got to be too much.
Yeah.
And at that point, TSN had just started. It just came in, and their whole thing when they first began was that they weren't going to show Maple Leafs. They weren't going to show Montreal. You were going to get games from out of unusual markets where you didn't see games from before. First time I saw a Flyers game from the Spectrum with those jerseys, that's what attracted me was the Flyers colors, and to see a game. I don't remember who they were playing against, but it was just a color scheme that you didn't see before, and it started to intrigue me. I had a friend who was an American up in that area his name was John Lukes. Shout out to John Lukes. He was a Flyers guy too, so we were the only two Flyers fans that I knew for a long time.
It wasn't the Cooperalls that they wore?
They did have Cooperalls for a little bit. I'm trying to remember if it was that season. That might have been just before.
Just before
that. Like, didn't Daryl Sittler wear Cooperalls for the Flyers?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But no, like guys like Tim Kerr and Brian Propp and Rick Tocchet and Dave Poulin and Pelly Lindbergh that one year.
Yeah, my favorite goalie growing up. That was my favorite. Yeah. One of them, yeah.
Yeah, Dusty says on the nasty chat, Guy, can you get a bigger mic next time?
Man.
Oh, Dusty says,
I was all worried about the glasses because I get the reflection, but if I take them off, I can't see you guys. So I'm not sure what the solution is. I can't wear contacts. I can't put anything close to I can't put eye drops in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the solution is. Microphone. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, we love it. You sound wonderful. Hey, before we get to the Oil Kings, we were talking about Stuart Skinner and how he's having an off year this year. He's been up and down, up and down. You saw him play a lot in junior. What was his career like in the Dub? Was he similar to what we're seeing in the pros, Guy?
He was pretty consistent, actually. And I think the year the Oilers drafted him might have been statistically his lowest season, but even that was like 905 or something save percentage. The following year, his final year in junior with where he got traded to Swift Current and they won the league championship, he was unbelievable. And I think he had like a 930 save percentage in the playoffs, and they took them 26 games to win the playoffs that year. So they had a tough series. He was great. My biggest memory of Stu Skinner at the junior level in his early days in Lethbridge was his upper body protector that he wore, I think was massive. Like he looked like the Michelin Man. He looked like me in a size medium t-shirt. Like it was pushing the seams of his jersey. And I think he changed his gear as it went on. But Corey Graham and I used to laugh all the time about just how big he looked. You remember like the goaltenders that had the huge shoulder pads and you're like, oh, that can't even be legal.
Car Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys like that. It looked like that, but not with his shoulders. It was like around his torso. It just looked weird. Like you probably couldn't feel any shot that hit him. But I thought as a junior hockey goaltender, he was terrific. And I think it just takes some. Is there going to be ups and downs in the guy's career, isn't it? He's still fairly young.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I heard, he was, like you said, he was fantastic in the Western League. He's done it at every single level. The progression of him has been going up, and now it's kind of a little bit of a plateau, and that's kind of the reasoning why I think he still will have the ability to bounce back and have some success, hopefully for his team, the Edmonton Oilers, and their fans. But moving on to the Western Hockey League playoffs. It's kind of neat on their website how they predict who the matchups are going to be, and we still don't know exactly. So if the playoffs started today, it looks like the Oil Kings would go up against the Lethbridge Hurricanes. What could you tell us about what that matchup might look like? Is that favor the Hurricanes, or is it going to be kind of a pretty close series?
I believe the season series between the teams is pretty much a dead heat. Yeah. Which is interesting. It's also the same with the Medicine Hat Tigers. The Oil Kings have played both of those clubs very, very tight this year. I think the only team, there's two teams that have given the Edmonton trouble this season. Calgary, who are here tomorrow, and they play them once more on the weekend as well. They're 1-5 against the Hitmen, but they're dead even with Medicine Hat and Lethbridge. The Brandon Wheat Kings they've won all 4 games against the Oil Kings this year. So if they can avoid Calgary and Brandon for a little while, that would be a good thing for Edmonton. But if it was Lethbridge, I don't think the Oil Kings are intimidated. And if it's Medicine Hat, even though they've got all that star power, the Oil Kings have played Medicine Hat really tough this year. And of course, we saw that Gavin McKenna's reaction a couple of weeks ago when he was hit into the boards and he two-handed Josh Morley and got a 3-game suspension. So I think that would be a really entertaining series because there's definitely some hatred between the two clubs.
Guy, coming into this season, is this where you kind of thought the Oil Kings would be kind of top 5, top 6? Now, the two teams behind them are only 1 point behind, so the finals, 5 games here are going to mean something for the Oil Kings. They probably want to finish as high as they can. But is this what you were anticipating from this squad?
Pretty much exactly what I was looking for, because the Oil Kings historically, since they've come back into the league, remember that it took them 5 years after coming back. They won the league championship, and they were the top team in the league for 2012, 2013, 2014. Then they disappeared for a couple of years, and 5 years later, they were contenders again, and they won it in 2022. It seems to be a 5-year, 6-year cycle for Edmonton. So they won in 2022. The next 2 years, you got to pay the piper. Now it's that cycle. You're on the way up. So making the playoffs this year was a bare minimum, I think, for Edmonton. Mm-hmm. If they can win a first round, then I think they're right on track. And the next year, the year after that, and the year after that, they're right in the wheelhouse again.
So, I mean, do you think there's any chance that they go past if they get to the second round, they can proceed any further? Or is this, looking at some of the other teams at that point, are they more in their wheelhouse to start contending for a Western League championship?
I think right now they are a team that nobody wants to play. they're not going to be an easy out. And like I mentioned, if it's Medicine Hat or Lethbridge, they'll start on the road and they'll be the underdog, but not by much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if it's Calgary, I think Calgary's the best team in the conference. If they happen to be playing Calgary in the first round, that might not be the matchup that favors the Oil Kings, but I can see Edmonton getting to the second round, and then it gets a little bit more difficult. But even then, if you happen to play Lethbridge in round 1 and you get past them, and it's Medicine Hat in round 2, I think they're okay.
Yeah, I'd look forward to that.
Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show joining us here on EST Afternoons. Guy, Blake Fiddler, I saw some rankings today for the upcoming draft. He's rated pretty high. What have you made of his season?
I like him. He's a guest of mine on the show this week, actually. I just had a good conversation with him yesterday. I think he's still scratching the surface of what he can do. I mean, he's big. He's 6'4". He's 210, 215 pounds, skates really well, transports the puck well. He's really added an offensive element to his game. We saw him step over the blue line in Red Deer, leading the rush, and a 30-foot wrist shot beat the goaltender. Like it's something he wasn't doing last year. It really started for him this season at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, where he was representing the United States. One of, I think there was 3 CHL guys on that team, and he was named the captain. I think part of that maybe had to do that he was playing at Edmonton, so familiarity with the surroundings. But from there, he got an invite to play or to take part in the World Junior Camp for the United States. As a guy, a 17-year-old, not part of the National Development Program, it's incredibly rare, really rare that you even get that opportunity. He didn't make the team, probably will next year, but just getting that recognition from USA Hockey is huge for him. So all of that said, I think he's very well in the mix for a spot in the first round. Top 20, I'm not sure, but I think before the end of the first round, almost certainly.
That's exciting. And Manny Arsenal, former Edmonton Elk, trains him down there in the U.S. We had him on, and he talked about Blake and how they train in the offseason together. So that's pretty cool. Guy, hockey hookies the game tomorrow? Is that correct?
Yeah, big one. Yeah, apparently it might be a sellout.
Oh, nice.
Like the last I heard, there was only 300 tickets available or something, and that was 2 days ago. So it's going to be packed. And that game last year with Calgary in town was probably the best game of the season. Edmonton was down by a goal with about 3 minutes left, tied it and won it before the end of regulation time. Cool. It was fantastic.
That's 11 a.m. start. Just go to Edmonton Oil Kings website and you can hear good old Guy Flaming there. Guy, you already said Blake Fiddler was on the show. Who else do you have on the show, and where can people find the podcast?
The rest of the show is still being put together for this week. I actually had a guest that I was in the middle of an interview with today, and then my internet went out.
Oh, no.
So I have to reconnect with him in a couple of days. But you can hear it on Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, Saturdays and Mondays, and anywhere you get your podcast from, you can pick it up too. And maybe I'll tell the 72-yard punt story on this week's episode.
Is that an Alberta record, Guy? Do we know?
I don't know. I have no clue.
You just say yes.
You're supposed to say yes.
Yeah. I'm sure 72 yards. Hey, and it's legit. It was a legit punt.
All right, Guy. Well, enjoy the game tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have you on once we know who the opponent's going to be for the Oil Kings in the playoffs. Look forward to it. Enjoy the rest of the day, buddy.
Sounds great, fellas. Good to see you.
That's Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show. Of course, you can listen to him here on Edmonton Sports Talk or wherever you get your podcasts, and he does the color analyzing of the Edmonton Oil Kings. He's been doing that for years, so big thanks to Guy. And it's exciting. I love when the Oil Kings are in the playoffs, man.
There's nothing better than Western Hockey League playoffs. It brings me back, man. Those were because it's the first time you really, as a young hockey player, you're first introduced to playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Right. And not that it's just at a different level. And, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I could win a championship. Am I going to the Memorial Cup? What's going on? So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And tomorrow's, like Guy said, there's not many tickets left. If you do want to go, it is at 11 a.m. start time. So go to EdmontonOilKings.ca and you can check out the tickets, what's coming up. They got 5 games left including tomorrow, and then they'll be heading into the playoffs, which is going to be awesome. $2 hot dogs tomorrow, too.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be
fantastic.
That's going to be fantastic. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game, they get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light, where you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Coming up next, highlights, lowlights from last night's game here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Here's Koob with your sports update.
Tons of action in the NHL. The Lightning and Hurricanes drop the puck in Raleigh. From Winnipeg, the Jets and Rangers face off, while Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals hit the road in Anaheim to battle the Ducks, having 8 other games to boot. 3 WHL games go down. Tri-City welcomes in Seattle. Regina hosts Saskatoon, and the Rebels butt heads with the Warriors. And from New Orleans, the Saints have signed Jawan Johnson to a 3-year deal worth about $30 million, $21 million guaranteed. And multiple insiders, including NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, are reporting that former Viking Daniel Jones is expected to sign with the Colts on a 1-year, $14 million deal. Just 4 games in the NBA. Brooklyn faces Cleveland. Milwaukee visits Indiana. Pistons tip off against the Wizards, and the Clippers challenge the Pelicans. And it was the Jays getting past the Twins 3-2 in spring training. They take on the Orioles Thursday. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update.
The EST Hangout.
McKenna in Medicine Hat.
He's really good. His ability to really hold the puck and really quarterback the play, no matter what zone he's in, is really, really exceptional. And he's got great vision, great talent, hand-eye coordination off the charts. But then he's also got a shooter's mentality too.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you? Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hungry and need it now? The Canadian Brewhouse Express Lunch, served in under 15 minutes or it's free, Monday to Friday till 2 p.m. Roasted turkey club and soup, Alberta Wagyu ravioli, and more. Fast, fresh, and no excuses. Get to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
It's 1:45. Sounds like a song that should be on Lost Boys. Eh?
Really?
Yeah, no. You've seen Lost Boys. EST Afternoons.
One of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
Of all time. Hernan, Salas, Zachary The Koob Kubusch. One of the greatest movies of all time. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Jason Patrick.
Kiefer.
That's a big one. It's a good movie, man.
It's a great movie.
I love it. It's good stuff.
You know, Kiefer busted his hand in doing that.
Yeah.
He was wearing something like a cast. You could see it in the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had heard a story about that. Yeah. It's
Great
good.
vampire movie.
Oh, so good. It's probably the best one that I've seen.
What?
That for vampires?
Yeah.
Name another one.
Twilight?
I don't watch Twilight.
Yeah, I got a funny story about Twilight. Do you want me to hear this?
Sure.
So I'm a major nerd, and my first year overseas, I was in the UK and saw all these little kids with painting scars on their forehead and wearing circle glasses and Harry Potter. And I remember going to watch the first Harry Potter movie. Oh, this is great. And then I found out there was books. I started reading these books, blah, blah, blah. So I burned through finally all the Harry Potter books. And I'm sad because the story's over, right? It was a great story. Unbelievable. And so I go to the bookstore way back when at Southgate, and I talk to the little girl. I go, and I was terrible because I'm old man. I go, hey, I'm done with the Harry Potter books. Can you suggest something? And she just goes, oh, do I have the series for you? And so I was going back to Europe. So I took the 3 Twilight books that were available.
Okay.
And I didn't read. Usually I read on the bus, but in Italy there were so many switchbacks. I couldn't read. I would puke. But I read that first Twilight book in like a day.
Really?
But because I kind of could see what's happening, but it was so trashy and terrible. And so I read the next 2 and I was like, this is ridiculous. I just didn't have anything else to read. And I brought them home, and I passed them around to all the other wives on the team that year, and they loved it. They loved the love story and stuff. It was silly. And then my sister-in-law, I gave them to her, and she burned through all of them in like a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's about vampires then, right? Yeah.
And werewolves.
Werewolves.
Yeah.
Interview with a Vampire?
Anne Rice, correct?
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
That's with Tom Cruise, isn't it?
Yeah. And Brad Pitt. I think the best vampire movie is, what's the name of that one? Shoot, it'll come to me.
Not really into vampire movies outside of Lost Boys.
That's so old though. And it's kind of a kid's movie.
It's great though.
It is good. I like the scary.
You think it's a kid's movie? It's pretty intense.
I guess. True Blood. Did you ever watch True Blood? That was a good vampire movie.
No.
Or series, I guess.
No, not really into that stuff. I'm a little confused with Daredevil. Okay. And just listen to me. Just listen to me. I want to watch it. But do I have to watch the 3 seasons from 2015 in order to watch the new one? Because I was reading online, I Googled it, and they said you don't have to, but they recommend you do.
Yeah. You know what? You could probably just do. Well, I haven't watched the first 2. Dusty's raved about it today already, right? So, just so you get a gist of it, I would watch the first season anyways. I think you'll want to watch the next season because it kind of goes in order, right?
Okay.
And there's, I believe, one of the antagonists in Born Again is in the 3rd season of the Daredevil show. But I mean, it's dark. It's really dark.
But you don't have to watch the other ones. But you recommend.
No, but you'll be asking me questions.
It's got really high ratings. Both do.
I swear by the first season of Daredevil is the best superhero series I've ever watched.
Really?
Yeah. It's perfect.
Okay. I'm trying. I want to get into it, but I didn't want to start last night because I'm like, okay, wait, do I have to watch this? And because I have them all, right?
Oh, yeah,
so I was like, I might as well, right?
Just watch one. The first one's great.
YouTube Trev, if you're not first, you're last. Buckle up. That trophy is mine. I like the excitement over this F1 league right now. Like, guys are getting into it.
Well, even Dusty, because he said it and forget it. But now I think if everyone's talking about it, like if you come in and you won that weekend, you're going to be crowing till all week.
I won't shut up. JC says,
imagine if Koob wins. Jeez.
Oh, jeez. I want to hear the end of it. Lost Boys is not a kid's movie. Twilight is a kid's movie. I don't think Lost Boys is a kid, even though I saw it as a kid. Back when we were kids, Gager, we'd watch anything.
Well, yeah, I remember my son, I think he was probably 6, and we went through, they had the DVD bins at Walmart or whatever, and I saw the Goonies, and I go, we'll go home and watch this. You'll love it. Because I probably watched it.
Yeah, Goonies is awesome.
But every second word's a expletive in that, and I'm like, whoa, maybe not. Like, I guess we were tougher as kids.
Chunk's the best.
Chunks is great.
80s movies just hit different, man. Top Gun.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because you ever watch Stranger Things?
No, not into those kind of shows.
It's like Lost Boys, basically.
No,
it's supernatural.
I gave it a
stuff.
shot and I didn't like it.
But it's 80s.
I know.
My daughter's rewatching that. It's pretty funny.
So they're done?
No, the last season is this summer.
Oh,
or the last.
Those kids are all adults now.
I know, they're all like 30.
Caster says, Hernan, you don't need to watch the previous Daredevil series. The first 10 minutes of the new show is intense, and the Punisher has yet to show up. Well,
hey, don't ruin it.
Damn it.
And the Punisher, that was my favorite comic book as a kid. I had them all.
I was just a weird kid because I was never into superheroes. Never.
It's not being weird, man. It's just you just
I guess
lost out on a.
I want to watch The Dark Knight eventually.
It's fantastic.
And Unforgiven. And
Unforgiven.
Tombstone.
Oh, you haven't watched that one too?
Yeah.
I would Tombstones. Yeah, I mean, Dusty wouldn't have it as a Tombstone Tuesdays if the movie sucked, or maybe he would, but it doesn't suck.
Hey, slam that thumbs up. 47 away from 100. Let's do it. Okay. I don't want to, but we have to.
We what?
We're going to get the highlights, lowlights.
Oh, no.
Koob, scratch the first goal. We don't need it. Let's start with the second goal. Sorry. Because the first goal, Stuart Skinner should have had it. Plain and simple.
And Bouchard should have gotten the way of...
Oh, I thought I crushed the volume there. Can you get out of this? Sorry, Koob. I'm just a mess. Don't play it yet, please. Yeah, so we don't have to revisit that.
No.
The Stuart Skinner haters are on the Nasty Chat, so keep hating. It's fine. He wasn't good last night.
No.
Plain and simple. Let's start with the second goal here, and this one's more of the backtracking. Watch McDavid, again, does the flyby, goes to the defenseman's man. Zach Hyman did not haul, you know what. Very lazy on the back check. Like McDavid right here. Where's he going? And then Hyman's really late, and I know you pointed it out yesterday during the game on the group chat. You're like, what's Hyman doing?
Well, yeah, you don't see it from here, but he is right beside Tuck at the top of the crease. And if looking at the scenario ahead of you, you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
They've got their guys. The first thing in your head is, where's my guy? Oh, there he goes. Go catch him. Like, watch Tuck. He's got all the time in the world.
He's all
and
alone.
look where that's Hyman coming back into the picture. Like, oh my gosh, there's my guy. Come on, man. You can't have that type of effort. He could have been back covering the slot or on his guy. You're not going to win playing like that. It's a recognition from the opposite end of the ice. You could see it on the broadcast. They showed the lengthwise view. If you have it, if you recorded the game, you can see it. Hyman and Tuck are standing right beside each other at the top of the crease, and Tuck takes 2 steps, and Hyman just watches for a bit and then goes, oh. But still, you see him coming into the zone. There's no urgency to get Tuck there. And this guy's got just a sledgehammer for a shot in the slot.
You
can't blame Stuart Skinner on that. Like, you need a little bit more help. You can't allow goal scorers, like good hockey players with time and space in the middle of the ice like that. They're gonna pick goalies apart. So.
And the concerning part is it's Hyman. It's McDavid there, who was a dash again last night. Like, it's not fourth line guys, getting caught and being lazy. It's your top players. And I think that's the biggest concern.
It bleeds through your lineup, man. Like, when you see your top guys, when your top guys are going the extra, and it's not even the extra mile, it's what should be done. I'm tired of, like, their effort level should be higher than everyone else on both sides of the puck. And that bleeds through every part of your game. So guys that don't play that much, they're like, oh, if they're doing that, I got to do way more if I want to get out there, and it's just, it's not consistent level of accountability throughout all the lines.
All right, let's get to the third goal here. This is all kinds of bad. I mean, there's so much bad. Podkolzin here, a play you should never make. Not Podkolzin, sorry. And here, 2 hands on the stick, Bush. Push it to the corner. Yes, he gets slashed. But like that, to me, that's 2 horrible plays. Podkolzin right here. Look, turns over. And look at Bouchard. He's got the step. 2 hands on the stick. Dump it into the corner. And it's out of danger. Like, what is he trying to do with 1 hand on the stick?
He's trying to bank it off the backboards behind the guy and go the other way with it. Terrible decision making. But Cass was talking about this. Here's a guy that only thinks offensively. So right here, he's just trying to pull it back over to the boards behind a guy. Instead of, I mean, I don't like Skinner's move on that either.
Yeah.
Like,
well, look how he ends up.
I know, but you got to expect the worst in cases like that. And you know what was really exposed was just the speed of Bouchard, right? Like his speed got exposed there, big time.
Oh, big time. Because we're talking about Tage Thompson, who's not the fastest guy.
No.
And listen, it's a good play because he taps him. I don't know if it's on the hand or on the stick, but
just a little tap on the stick.
Good.
Yeah, perfect.
But for me, it's just it starts with Podkolzin. Then Bouchard, then Skinner. They all played it poorly.
But if you look at all 3 goals, you can all go. Usually you can do this with every goal, but there was something done earlier that shouldn't have happened, and then there's another part that's like, that shouldn't have happened, and then it goes to the goalie where you'd like something better, right?
JC saying, why are we called haters? No, fair enough. Like, listen, if you're hard on Stuart Skinner, listen, I think everybody on the station has been pretty transparent pretty honest when it comes to, when he's good, we say he's good. When he's bad, he's bad. Okay. But there's people on this chat that he could have 50 save shutout and they'll still complain. And it's not everybody. It's a really small group. So sorry for calling you haters. You just don't have confidence in Skinner then.
Who's complaining about me calling them haters?
No, I did. I said the Stuart Skinner haters. There is haters, though.
Well,
but maybe not everybody's a hater. Maybe people
call anyone a hater. Jeez.
No, I said Stuart Skinner haters.
I know, but you're not calling anyone a hater.
Yeah.
Out there that you could be talking about.
But listen, if you don't like Stuart Skinner, sure, all the power to you. But when he is good, like, there's still no credit. That's where I am like, okay, I'm out. Like, I'm done conversing about this because there's no back and forth. There's no, it's just, he sucks. Okay. And listen, he hasn't been good. And this might not be the year for Stuart Skinner. He might not be good the rest of the way. And the Oilers might be out early. But I'll tell you this, goaltending is a part of it. 100%. Yeah. But so is defense. So is the decor. So is defending off the rush. So is defending the cycle. So is the secondary scoring. There's a lot of issues here in Edmonton.
There's a lot of areas they need to clean up before game 83.
Yeah.
They need like a shop vac to clean that stuff up.
Yeah. Like, again, if all the conversation is going to be Stuart Skinner, I'm sorry, but
I can't take it anymore.
I get it. You don't like him. You made your point.
It's a piece.
Yeah.
It's one of the pillars.
Of course. And we'll discuss
it. It's a pillar of every team is goaltending. But you can't tell me that there aren't other blemishes defensively that are just as important as a goaltender. But a goaltender is only going to do so much.
But I'm just tired of it. Like, every time the Oilers lose, it's just Skinner. I get it. He was bad yesterday. What else do you want me to say? He wasn't good enough. He got out-goalied by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who had a .940 save percentage. Skinner was under 900 again. We're saying he's not good enough, but if that's all, if you're going to throw that every single time, it's just, like I said.
I can't take it anymore.
Hernan's getting old and cranky. Just can't do it anymore, guys. Let's pick on someone else just for the next 10 minutes.
Pick on Hernan.
Come at me. Come at me, bro. Oh, we got to get to break here, Gager. But before we do, join Dustin Nielsen, Trey, and Tyrell Ford, and other special guests on Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell in Scona for Edmonton's Sports Talk Bids for Kids presented by GS Construction.
Nice.
A live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50 and more. Tickets are limited. Find them today at www.kidsportbidsforkids.com. Great event. You can see the Ford brothers there, which is awesome. Very exciting for the Elks. Man, training can't come soon enough. We're back after the break with Heat and Smoke. Tim Hauraney at 2:20, and then we'll select our two winners for the F1 Fantasy League at 2:40. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Here's Koob with your sports update.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Dustin and I used to call Golden Bears football games. He said, hey, we're doing this new thing because TSN 1260 got shut down, and one of our shows is called The Hangout. Different people from the sports community in Edmonton come in, kind of have a fireside chat, and he said, I think you'd like that and be good for it. For Dusty to ask me to be on The Hangout was an opportunity. A door opened. I walked through it, and here I am.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Sidney Crosby and the Penguins challenge the Bruins. Ottawa hits the road in Philly. The Blue Jackets and Devils face off before the Canadiens meet the Canucks, having 11 games around the NHL. And in junior, the WHL has 3 games. The Blades and Pats duke it out. The Americans take on the Thunderbirds, and Red Deer visits Moose Jaw. And the Charge and Frost hit the ice in Ottawa for the lone PWHL game on tap. Down south, it's Jawan Johnson and the Saints agreeing to a 3-year deal worth over $30 million. Nearly $21 million is guaranteed. Elsewhere, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, among other reporters, are reporting that Daniel Jones is expected to sign a 1-year deal, $14 million with the Colts. From LA, the Clippers and Pelicans hit the court while the Bucks and Pacers tip off. Brooklyn meets Cleveland, and the Wizards go toe-to-toe with the Pistons. Spring training also saw Toronto win 3-2 against Minnesota. It's Jays and Orioles on Thursday. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
10:05. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Here's hour 2. Tim Hauraney coming up. Along with Heat and Smoke. Koob's going to join us in about 5 minutes or so. He's a little tied up right now, so Heat and Smoke will have to wait 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or on the Nasty Chat. Up. Oh, is my mic? Yeah, okay. My mic's on. Joaquin?
Yes.
Can the Oilers go 3-1?
No. That would mean they played 2 good games.
You don't think they can?
Back to back.
Well, Montreal wasn't bad. Dallas was good outside of those 5 minutes. Who would you, Skinner, Pickard, which game are you putting in?
Skinner.
Okay, no, but it's back to back.
Skinner.
Okay, he's not playing back to back.
Why not?
Because he's not. Would you play Skinner against New Jersey or the New York Islanders?
I think Skinner should play both, but if I have my choice, he plays the next one too. He plays the next one, and then he can have the next one.
No, so he'll play
New Jersey, and then Pickard gets the Islanders.
He'll play, okay.
And then he'll play, because you want him playing. He's got to play the next one.
Yeah.
Or maybe he goes back to back on the just let him play the next one.
Yeah.
Day off, and then play the last game of the trip.
Okay.
That good?
Yeah, he's not playing back to back.
Why not?
John Carlos says Gager really wants the second seed.
What?
Now they're calling you a Pickard hate.
Oh God! Pickard's great, but that he's doing his job, and that's providing rest for Stuart Skinner. Pickard's a good backup, man, but he's not the number one guy. You want your number one guy going, and I can't wait till Skinner goes in there and starts lighting it up, and everyone's just going to bow down, just like all you guys in this F1 pool.
Oh, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
They
They'll
won't. They will never give Stuart Skinner
right.
credit.
I was wrong. You're better looking.
You're better looking. I'm not. Life of the Edmonton Oilers. Man, it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. I hope he figures it out. I hope they go on a long run. Then they might need Pickard again. Who knows? He came in against Vancouver, played well. Second game, you really wouldn't put it on him, Gager. That was just a tough game. Vancouver came to play that game, so we'll see, man. And listen, I'm intrigued in the offseason if this team goes another way when it comes to their goaltend. Again, Stuart Skinner is not Stan Bowman's guy. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying it could be an option.
Could be.
Koob, are you ready?
I am, yeah. I'm back.
What's about damn time?
I know. I had to walk away for a second. I couldn't hear more Oilers talk.
You can't take the Skinner stuff anymore, can you? Either can I. All right. Heat and Smoke. I think Gager leads 1-0 because the questions have been I think the last one was a draw because we didn't get one right.
I don't think
it was
so,
all 1920s, not even Joe Malone scoring 7 goals against the Toronto St. Pats. But it's a lot easier this time around.
Okay, so how are we doing this? Do you just go first and then I can steal? And if I get it, then I go? Is that how we're doing it? Or are we going?
No,
it's just one by one. It makes things a lot easier.
I started last time, so it's your turn.
And you guys are both losers, so
Jeez.
Well, you guys did lose last time. I'm sorry, but this time it'll actually be competitive. Because
Brendan never called us losers.
Yeah, doesn't swear at us.
Even though many would agree, but
only if you guys heard what Hernan says to me behind.
Don't say
I'm
that.
I'm joking. Hernan's the nicest guy I know, at least in this room.
Okay, let's go. Tim Hauraney's coming up.
All righty. All right, of course, Max Jones, one of the newest Oilers on the team. He rocks 46. Can you name another Oiler who wore number 46? Now, there are 4 other players who have worn this number. 2 of them during my lifetime.
Yeah, you got to count them down, though, right?
Yeah, no, I'm
not going to get it.
Just make a guess. You got to make a guess. I know it doesn't come to mind right away, right?
I don't know.
It's an odd number.
Yeah, I don't.
One of these
Kajula?
guys. It's a solid guess. I mean, 46, would kind of be like almost the rookie number, but it is not Drake Kajula. Hernan?
Pontus Aberg.
Wow. Wow. He got it. Yeah. He only played like
We talked about this last week.
I know, but I can't. I thought you just looked it up that day.
Okay. Who were the other ones?
Crazy. Zach Stortini.
Oh,
Yanni
Stortini.
Rita.
Huggy Bear.
Yanni
and
Rita.
Todd
you're
Reardon.
Todd Reardon. Didn't you play with Rita?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Oh, you played with the Swiss Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pontus Aberg only played 16 games for the Oilers. That's a wild pick there, Hernan.
He was a legend, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? I remember Pontus Aberg most fondly wearing number 46.
Nicely
so there
done.
we go.
Nicely done.
All righty then. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some hints, and I'm thinking of a specific player. So this is sort of a player profile. It does tie into the Oilers. I guess that's the first hint there. But this player played for 8 different teams. So I'm going broad, and I'll get more specific as it goes. And I guess, Hernan got the guess, so it'll go over to Gager for the first guess.
Is he current?
He's a current player. He's played for 8 teams.
Current player.
I think I know.
8 teams. With the Oilers?
He's played with the Oilers, yeah.
Oh.
That's one of his teams.
Okay. Current player played with 8 teams. Taylor Hall.
Good guess, but it is not Taylor Hall.
I was going to say Beauvillier, but he's never played for the Oilers.
He did wear orange and blue on the Islanders, but...
Oh, thanks for the
different
hint.
orange.
Jesus.
No, sorry. No, I'm talking about Beauvillier, right? He did wear the orange and blue, but on a different squad.
Played for 8 teams, including the Oilers. You can count me down, too. Trying to think. And he's current.
Just a few seconds. I just need a name, man.
I don't know. I pass.
Awesome. So you guys missed it on that first guess. I know the hint was very broad. There's a lot of players who could play on 8 teams. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper this time. He was drafted by the Flyers back in 2007. Never played for the team, but he was drafted by the Flyers. So drafted by the Flyers, 8 NHL teams, and he was an Oiler at one point. Gager, do you got anybody?
Flyers, 2007, 8 teams. That wasn't him. I want to say it was. No,
I'm so confused.
Yeah,
Richards.
Bring that in.
No, he's
Mike
not.
Richards
I don't
or
know.
anybody.
I don't know.
Oh, you're passing up your
I'm
guess?
passing. Yeah,
Awesome.
I have
Hernan,
no
you got
clue.
anybody?
Yeah, former Flyer that played on the other. Cam
No.
Talbot.
Solid guess. Solid guess. So
Did he play for the Flyers? We did too.
Yeah, he
did,
traded
he
for
did.
Stoller.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
But he wasn't drafted by the Flyers.
he was
right.
not drafted by the Flyers. So right now, a player who has played on 8 NHL teams has played for the Oilers, drafted in 2007 by the Flyers, never played for the team. The next hint is that he started career with the Ducks organization. Like he broke into the NHL playing for the Anaheim Ducks. Gager, it would be your guess because Hernan missed it. And I guess, I mean,
What's
he
his
played with
name?
both McDavid and Corey Perry at one point. Not same time, different teams, but he has played with both Connor McDavid and Corey Perry at one point.
Oh, Oilers. That's not him. My gosh.
Well, if you guys got nobody, I got one more hint. It's a little.
Give us the last hint. Give us the last hint.
He's won 3 Stanley Cups.
Oh, smack.
3 Stanley Cups. Is it Maroon?
Pat Maroon.
There it is.
That's who it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Of course, he broke into the league back in 2011, 2012, just playing 2 games with the Ducks, and then next year he started playing with them again. Won 3 cups back to back to back. Might I add?
Yeah.
Patrick Maroon, the big rig, fan favorite.
Good one, man. That was good.
That was good.
Mm.
I like the hints later because we're idiots.
Well, I guess we'll call it 1-1 since Gage got all the hints.
Well, it is 1-1, but okay. So this next thing, it's another little bit of a player profile. I'm just going to start it broad. It's a first-round pick.
Connor McDavid.
Nope.
Let's go with Owen Nolan.
Owen Nolan. It is not Owen Nolan. This guy has played for 7 different NHL teams and is a first-round pick. Hernan?
Anthony Beauvillier.
Again, yeah. He's
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. No, it is not Taylor Hall. So this guy's played with both Jake Wallman and Connor McDavid in the NHL. I'm going to specify that in the NHL. He's played for 7 different NHL teams and is a first-round pick. Top 10.
He's a top 10 pick, and he's played with Connor and
Jake Wallman. So
Jake
he's either in San Jose or Detroit. Top 10 pick.
Hernan, give me a name. Taking too long. Come on.
Sam Gagner.
Yep. Sam Gagner. That's
Holy
the pick.
smokes, where did you pull that out of?
I know, right? Trev got
He
that
played on
the
Detroit.
first gift. Or
Yeah, I
on
know,
the first,
but I didn't
hint.
think you had that much brain power.
Yeah.
The smartest.
Yeah, let's go. 2-1 is the score right now. Trev got that on the first hint, though. I said first-round pick, and he said Sam Gagner. I'm like, what? How do you pull
Jesus.
that out of
What a
a
psychopath.
hat? Anyways, he's still playing, by the way. He's on the Belleville Senators in the AHL. 0 goals, 10 assists through about 20 games, but he played with Wallman on the wings back in 21 and 22, and of course was here for a long time, rocking, 89 with the Oilers. All righty then. Now, the next question is, who's the last goalie the Oilers traded for who played on the team? So no minor league deals here. We're talking somebody who actually suited up in the orange and blue. Gager?
Who the Oilers traded for? And
The last goalie they traded for who actually played.
Cam
And I know
Talbot.
They did not trade for Cam Talbot.
Oh,
who
they
played.
signed him. Right.
Anthony Stolars.
Anthony Stolars, that's it. It was Cam Talbot for Anthony Stolars, 1-for-1. I had this in the list, so I had to say it. Hernan mentioned it earlier. That trade was February 16th, 2019.
I thought Anthony Stolars actually was a D-man. So.
Well, there we go. I kind of
He's a
thought
starter for Toronto.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good.
They're both both in the same division, doing great on their respective clubs. The next question: who has the most hits since 05-06? Since it's kind of been recorded, this guy has over 4,000 hits in his career,
And he's still playing?
and he's still playing. Current player.
Ryan Suter.
Ryan Suter is a good guess, but it is not him. And Hernan, you got that right. It was supposed to be Gager. So Gager,
sorry.
you get 2 picks.
Oh,
you get
it's
2
okay.
guesses.
It's okay. I don't
well,
need to.
whatever.
I'll get it on the first one.
You
here.
don't even have to.
What's his name? Tanev.
He's up there, but it is not Brandon or Chris Tanev.
Okay, who is it?
You just want to know?
Yeah.
All right, it is Cal Clutterbuck.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is he
second
still
is Matt
playing?
Martin.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's still playing, though.
I thought he was.
Maybe in
Isn't he
Europe.
still suing?
I don't
now?
think he's
I
still
know.
playing.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have.
Okay,
whatever.
It's,
Whatever.
It's 3-1 with 2 questions to go. Let's go.
Alrighty. Who has the most overtime points in their career? Gager.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky is a good guess, but there wasn't, a lot of overtime that the Oilers really went to. So no.
Pavel
Right.
Datsuk.
Pavel Datsuk, solid guess, but that is not the right answer.
Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid is third on that list, actually. He has 43 overtime points. The first has 47.
One more guess for me, and then we're done. Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby. There we go. Well, technically, you've won. Gager cannot get it. It's 4-1 Hernan. But the last question anyways, who has the highest playoff save percentage as a goalie? Minimum 15 games played. And before you guys guess, the top 10, there's not a goalie who has played over 100 games. Braden Holtby is there 97 games.
Brian Boucher.
Brian Boucher is not in the top 10. Hernan?
Jordan Bennington.
Jordan Bennington. I don't see his name anywhere. He might be hiding down in the list. He's not up there.
All right, who is it?
It is Tim Thomas.
Oh, Timmy T.
933 with 51 games played. Aiden Hill is second, 19 games played, 932 save percentage. So there we go.
Hernan wins 4-1.
Yeah. And the questions actually weren't that crazy difficult.
Those are good.
Those are good.
Yeah, right?
Good job.
You guys actually got some right. Last time it was like 1-1. I had to give you guys like bonus points and stuff
That was
like
great,
that.
Koob.
Yeah.
Good job, Koob. That was
Got your
heat and
brain
smoke.
going, yeah.
Gager and Hernan are tied now, 1-1 for the season.
Look how happy you are you won.
Oh, yes. So
He
smart.
doesn't win a lot, hey?
Why don't you show this tenacity when you're playing Tecmo games.
I did. He yelled at me.
Oh, did he? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
No, you yelled at me.
Oh, yeah, no, I lit the fire.
The Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. A little slow on the thumbs up in the second hour. 34 away from 100. Slam the thumbs up if you can, please. And 152 watching, so we should be able to get to 100. That would be great. All right, guys, keep the messages coming on the Nasty Chat. Text us 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree inbox. Up next, F1 Talk. Tim Hauraney from TSN, F1 and Indy Car Insider, joins us here on EST Afternoons. Here's Koob with your sports update.
Eleven games throughout the NHL slate. The Avs and Wild drop the puck as the Canadiens and Canucks face off. Then the Panthers meet the Bruins, having Florida's Brad Marchand taking his first skate with the team this morning. He remains out of the lineup on a week-to-week basis. Head coach Paul Maurice saying he's hopeful Marchand can see some action before the start of playoffs. In the WHL, Red Deer and Moose Jaw go at it. The Blades battle the Pats before Seattle hits the road in Tri-City for 3 games around the league. And down south, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero are reporting that Daniel Jones and the Colts are closing in on a 1-year, $14 million deal. And Jeremy Fowler from ESPN reporting that the Falcons have re-upped Mike Hughes' 3-year deal, an $18 million contract. NBA action sees Washington visit Detroit. The Cavs host the Nets. Clippers and Pelicans tipping off as the Bucks and Pacers duke it out. And spring training continues for the Jays. Toronto got past Minnesota 3-2. They face the Orioles on Thursday. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. And Gimme Virtual Golf has membership and flex passes that fit your style. Premium members get complimentary winter bag storage. And don't forget, Gimme Virtual Golf gives 2 free hours of golf away every other week. And here on the show, we'll be giving away that this week. Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Find out more at GimmeVirtualGolf.ca. To talk some F1, Tim Hauraney, F1 Insider, joins EST Afternoons on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary The Koob Kubusch for your sports update.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brewhouse with epic food, killer drinks, and an unbeatable vibe. Plus, download the Canadian Brewhouse app and score free nachos on your big day. Book your party now to celebrate like a pro. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
2:25. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Edmonton Oilers off today, return to practice tomorrow, and then they'll be in New Jersey Thursday, take on the Islanders on Friday, and then at MSG to take on the Rangers on Sunday. So lots more to come Oiler-wise. We're going to switch gears because my co-host is over the moon excited. Out of 10, he said he's at a 13 for the F1 season to kick off here and to talk all things F1 and some Indy. Is our insider from TSN as well, Tim Hauraney. Tim, my man, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How's it going?
Oh, we're pumped, man. We set up our fantasy league today. There's a few.
All about it.
There's a few pros and a few people that have never watched F1, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. There's a bunch of us. We even opened up 2 spots to our listeners. They had to send in applications and why they should be in. So it's gonna be great, Tim.
Okay, is there any? What's the winner get? Come on now.
We have a trophy.
We have a trophy. I've taken this home 2 years. There's another jabroni that won it and we should have kicked him from the league. So we're not allowing him back. But essentially, I'm kind of a little bit like Max Verstappen around here over the last few years.
You're going for 4 straight, are you?
Yeah, well, it's almost. With the end, I don't really count that one season because I don't know what happened there.
Tim, you know what? It's exciting. I love the times for the races and qualifying and practice all in the evening here. It's going to be great to watch. I know last time you said this might be the best F1 season yet, as there's going to be a lot more teams involved at the top. I want to kind of start on the other side of the standings last year. I've been telling Joaquin this week that I'm pretty excited with Haas. I think they have an exciting driving duo. It's just is the biggest question with Haas, Tim. You just don't know what to expect early on here with this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I think their testing went well for them. I think the way they approached it was quite interesting, right? Because they never really did any performance runs. They didn't really show their hand as to what they actually have. And this is something that they did last year, where they were doing a lot of long runs and accumulating a lot of mileage in testing. And for those who don't understand about testing, it's a really important time to learn about your car. It's important for the drivers to understand the race car that's been built for them for this season, which takes a long time to learn. And at the same time, it gives the driver confidence in what they have and understanding where the limit of the car is. Because when you get to these faster racetracks, like Melbourne, you have a bit more confidence to push and know you're not going to crash the car or make a mistake and things of that nature. The car's not going to catch you out. So for Haas to just accumulate mileage, make sure both of their drivers, and Esteban Ocon and rookie Ollie Behrman, get a lot of mileage under their belt, that was their plan. That was their goal. They weren't too concerned about performance runs, which I find quite interesting. And it can either say one of two things, guys. It can either say that, look, the performance isn't there, or it's that they're that confident that the performance is there that they're not worried about it. So it's one of those two things when it comes to Haas. But I think it's a really exciting team to, in my opinion, to keep an eye on for this season because, I mean, like you both know, where they were when Gunther Steiner was running things. It's a lot different from where they are now with Ayo Komatsu, who's been running things now in year 2. I mean, last year was year 1 for him, and I mean, he did a really good job of running that team and getting them where they were, 6th, 7th in the constructor standings at the end of the day.
Tim, Adrian Newey couldn't take over the Aston Martin. It was said till March 3rd, I believe it was. And I know we talked about this a few months back, but what do you think will be his influence on this year's car? And will it, depending on how the first part of the season goes, does that transition start for next year's car a little bit early and they abandon this last year of 2025?
Yeah, I mean, what some reports have been coming out and saying, things that this is a car that Adrian Newey is going to use as a blank canvas and all that kind of stuff is just not true. I mean, that Adrian Newey's coming in and he's focusing on 2026 right away. That's what the team's instructed him to do. It's not to focus on the 2025 car because there is really no point at this time, right? They have Eric Blondin, who's going to be the guy who's going to be running things in the aero department until they have a few other staff members who are going to be joining them in July. And so for Adrian Newey, he can offer some insight into this year's car, but he can't invest time into it because he is going to be so busy trying to get caught up with the 2026 regulations that he's not going to have time for it. And guys, I think it could be a really tough season for Aston Martin, which is a shame. I mean, Canadian-owned team, Canadian driver. It could be a really difficult season for them. I mean, the testing didn't go according to plan for the team.
Yeah.
I know they weren't particularly happy with how things went. Fernando Alonso in particular wasn't happy. I heard from Lance. I know he wasn't very thrilled. He ended up getting sick on the last day, but tried to push through it, but he couldn't. So coming into Melbourne this weekend could be a difficult 3-4 races for them, I think.
Tim Hauraney, F1 and Indy Car Insider, joining us here on EST Afternoon. So what about Williams, Tim? I mean, 9th in the Constructors last season. They get Carlos Sainz, though. I mean, he's a hell of a driver. We were just talking about the first couple episodes of the new Drive to Survive, where it kind of shows when Ferrari brought in Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz, the way he found out and all that. But do you see Williams making a step up in the standings with Carlos Sainz?
I do. The team just seems like they have a lot more confidence in themselves. I think James Vowles has done a really nice job at bringing everybody together. I mean, that team was never... I mean, Claire Williams did her best to try and keep everyone together at that team. But when it comes to the point where you're financially strapped, it becomes really difficult to hold on to good employees, keep everybody happy behind the scenes, because that's just so important. I think having Doralton come in, offer her good money for the team at the time, and now investing more money in the team, getting James Vowles to come over and be the captain of this ship. He's done a very great job of, I think, unifying the entire team, instilling a lot of confidence. He's even been able to go out and get some really big names to join the team. Like he got Pat Fry running things there now. I mean, that's a big get for a team like Williams. And then to be as bullish as he has been trying to get Carlos Sainz. He was trying to get Carlos Sainz at the end of the 2023 season. Not when Lewis Hamilton decided to come in and say he's going to race for Ferrari. Vowles was trying to get him way before then. He was trying to poach him away from Ferrari for a long time before he finally got his man. And I just think having a driver like Carlos Sainz who brings so much experience to a team, I think they're going to be extremely strong. I mean, they were quickest in Bahrain testing. That's like a glory run, I think, guys, where they, drain the fuel out of the tanks and crank the engine up to full boost and away you go. I think for the team themselves, I could see them being the 5th, 6th fastest team, and I could see them at some races fighting for potential podiums.
Yeah, and Carlos will have that chip on the shoulder. He's
for
gonna,
sure.
Yeah, he's wasn't happy about the Lewis Hamilton stuff, but it's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah,
Tim, the news, obviously Cadillac coming in next year. It'll be interesting to see because obviously a lot will depend on the performance of these rookie drivers. But what do you see happening now that an 11th team will eventually come in and maybe some of these rookies falter, they get replaced halfway through the season, and just it makes for a very interesting, silly season before Cadillac can kind of announce who their drivers are.
It does, that's for sure. I was on heard from Graham Loudon, who's the team principal for Cadillac, the Cadillac F1 team. I heard from him yesterday. And, it's interesting to note one of the things hasn't been talked about yet, so we can talk about it here, but interesting of note that he actually said that, a lot of the big signings that they should have been going after, they kind of already happened. That's stuff that happened last season, and now they're sort of in a spot where both of their seats are kind of up in the air, really, and they don't really have one set driver who they have their sights set on. I mean, they've been talking a lot about Colton Herta in Indy Car, but Colton's got a lot of work to do. He still needs to get a super license, guys. Like, he needs to finish in the top 5 in the Indy Car Championship this season. We all know how competitive Indy Car is. For him to finish top 5 in the championship this season, I mean, he's going to have an incredible year. Like, it's that difficult in Indy Car. And so that's what he needs to do. But again, can you take a driver from Indy Car, stuff them into Formula One in the way that it is now, which is much different from IndyCar, and have them perform and do well, especially as a rookie and also in a new regulation set.
Right.
It's a very tall task. It's a lot to ask from, I think, any rookie. The 6 rookies that we have in F1 starting this year, it's a perfect time to get in, right? You get in now, you can learn a lot. You can get ready for the regulation change. You're more prepared. When you take someone like a rookie who's never been in Formula One and you just throw them in the deep end in a new regulation set, I mean, it's sink or swim, and usually they sink. So it's they have a very challenging time trying to find 2 drivers to stuff in there. And I know they want it to be all American, and I know they want to have an American driver, and that's all good and everything, but there isn't one. There really isn't one right now. And so I really don't know which direction they're going to take. In my opinion, you go with Valtteri Bottas, and then you try and grab another experienced reserve driver to start the season, and you prep a younger American to get them ready, like a Jack Crawford, like get him ready, get him into the scene.
Tim, we know the top teams heading into the season. We've talked a lot when we have you on about the, Lewis Hamilton and the rookies. But is there an I don't want to say under the radar, but going into this first race, is there a driver you would kind of recommend? You can only tell me, though, that's going to do well in this race.
Fishing for fantasy advice. This is crazy.
One driver that might surprise you this weekend, Tim.
This is like insider trading or whatever, right? Like, oh my God. I think when we look at the top 4 teams, I think the top 4 teams, any driver in there, out of, let's say, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, have a chance, I think, at qualifying in pole position. Maybe not the Red Bulls. I would say Red Bull's probably on. They're the team on the outside looking in at the moment. I'm not really sold on what they brought to the track in Bahrain, and I'm not really sold on Liam Lawson. I am absolutely sold on Max Verstappen, and I think he's the best driver on the grid, but there's only so much that he's going to be able to do, and he's really going to have to wring that car's neck to get full performance out of it. I'm curious to see what Mercedes does. I think we haven't talked about them enough following what was a very impressive test from them that kind of went under the radar. I've heard from other folks within the paddock who have said Toto Wolff's feeling quite bullish lately, and he wasn't feeling that way the last 3 years, guys. So, I'm looking at I'm looking at George Russell. I think George has got a lot to prove. I think he's really ticked off after how everything went down towards the end of last year, and I could see him being one of the drivers taking pole position. If not him, then Charles Leclerc, because I think for Charles Leclerc, it's important to let Lewis Hamilton know it's still your team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Tim, so I tuned into the Indy race there in St. Petersburg. I must say it's really exciting racing. I love the storylines. I mean, the strategies, I think they're a little bit more than what you see in F1 with with the fuel and the tires, and Scott Dixon, no radio the whole race, and just that
was incredible.
Yeah, the lead changes and the speed, and you had to crash in the first lap. I mean, it's really fun, and I'm looking forward to the next race. It's a little bit different, but I mean, I think Indy Car is in Hernan's future. It was really exciting. Now, I do want to ask.
Yeah,
I do want to ask you though, who's the Max Verstappen of IndyCar? Because I don't want to cheer for that guy.
I don't like. For me, like anyone in the top 10, even top 15, are incredible talents.
Yeah,
they just are. I mean, look at Scott. Like honestly, guys, you could throw Scott Dixon in a Formula One car right now, and I think what is he, 43, 44?
Yeah.
And he honestly, guys, he would be right up there at the sharp end of the grid. Like he's that good. That's how good Scott Dixon is. And so Alex Palou is right on that level. He is incredible. Going for his three-piece, trying to do a three-peat, get his third IndyCar championship. You'd win that. It'd be 3 in a row. Who else? I mean, Joseph Newgarden, also incredible talent. And I think enough cannot be said about just how good Scott Dixon is and how close. I think he's going to be in the running for the championship this year as well. He's already got, if I'm not mistaken, he's already got 7 of them. He could be going for his 8th. He's amazing. I love Scott Dixon. That race, doing that without a radio. Oh my God. I just can't believe he even finished P2. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, like he should have been dead last. He's amazing. He's amazing. Like I said, the guys that are in the top 10, top 15, they're all great to cheer for. And honestly, that was one of the more boring St. Pete races, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
It really was. Like that. Usually St. Pete's it gets you going to start the season. I think what's going on is a lot to do with the hybrid system. It's added a lot of weight to the car. And I think also at the same time, it's just not providing enough competitive racing. I really kind of hope they start to think about consider going back to just the V6 twin turbo engine. But we'll wait and see what happens. Maybe they can get some more kinks ironed out with this hybrid system and make things a little bit more competitive in that field, in that regards. Either way, we're in for a really great IndyCar championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, first experience was definitely they knocked it out of the park. And you saying that it wasn't the most exciting, but I found it like it was compared to F1. There's just a lot more movement, a lot more strategy. It's just
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. So definitely going to be tuning in. I think it's on the 23rd, the next race there in Indy. Tim, great stuff. We love having you on. Enjoy the start to the F1 season. I'm sure we'll have you on again to break down these races, but enjoy the race this weekend, and we'll chat soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
That's Tim Hauraney, F1 and IndyCar Insider. You can also see him on TSN breaking down all the races. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's taking the crown? Hit up the Canadian Brewhouse for wing night. Our house is your house. Up next, we will reveal the 2 winners to enter the F1 Fantasy League. Make sure you're tuned in for that. Here we go. Here's Koob. Sports Update.
Tons of NHL action. The Lightning and Hurricanes drop the puck in Carolina. From Winnipeg, the Jets and Rangers face off while Alex Ovechkin and the Caps hit the road in Anaheim to battle the Ducks, having 8 other games to boot. 3 WHL games go down. Tri-City welcomes in Seattle. Regina hosts Saskatoon, and the Rebels butt heads with the Warriors. Meanwhile, the Saints have signed Jawan Johnson to a 3-year deal worth about $30 million with over $21 million guaranteed. The Falcons have extended Mike Hughes on a 3-year, $18 million contract as well. Just 4 games in the NBA. Brooklyn faces Cleveland. Milwaukee visits Indiana. Pistons tip off against the Wizards, and the Clippers challenge the Pelicans. And the injury bug hits Tiger Woods once again. He's out indefinitely. He ruptured his Achilles during practice at home, and the 49-year-old underwent successful surgery to repair the injury. No set timeline on his return. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. We find out who makes the F1 fantasy team for EST on the other side of the break.
Goalie. goalie.
Instead of asking someone off the drop,
Don't give them an option.
Make them come to
just
you.
run somebody.
Make
Okay.
them come
Yes.
to you. Go spray
Yes.
the goalie, hit a guy late.
Go run somebody and make Anderson deal with you.
And turn
Right?
around,
Like-
drop your gloves, and say, come get some.
Two Guys and a Goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
Playmoregames.ca.
Years go by, and I'm fine on the outside, but on the inside, time and time, I'll admit that I still think of you. Oh, what am I to do when your name is on the tip of my tongue? But
247 coming back with the sweet tones of Raimai from The Whale and the Wolf. Man, he sings good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Good
stuff. What a tune. Love it. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Final segment here. It's been a fun show. Guy Flaming from the Pipeline Show to talk Oil Kings. Highlights, lowlights. It wasn't pretty. Tim Hauraney was awesome. Heat and smoke. Koob brought the heat. It was good. It was really good. Live from the William Huff Studios. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. 82 thumbs up. We're 18 away. Can we get it in the next 7 minutes? As at 3 o'clock, it's the triumphant return of the Reed Wilkins.
Wow.
And Jay Milne.
Wow. Professional broadcaster.
Who Jay Milne's on the verge of getting his own show after yesterday's performance.
Yeah, that was impressive.
That was pretty damn impressive.
You can always tell a true professional, because I listened to him on the way home.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, it sounds like this guy's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
I was like, that sucks. Because I couldn't do that.
What do you think I can?
You
Matt,
can.
I was like, Maddie, you got to join me when Joaquin's gone because I'll probably be just staring into the camera.
Well, that's what I will be staring into the camera once you leave. It'll be a week of.
So slam that thumbs up. Come on, let's get to 100. Let's get to 100 for Stuart Skinner. No, I'm just kidding. We don't want any thumbs down. So.
We just got 3 taken away.
Let's do it for F1 starting. Let's do it for Indy Car. Let's do it for Tim Hauraney, who I swear, Gager, one of my goals in life is to meet up with this guy and have a beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And at a race.
Just shoot the breeze and
go down to Mexico with him.
Goes to watch some Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre.
Libre, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it?
No, we didn't say 100 for Skinner. We took that back real quick because we don't want to lose thumbs up. So who can we do it for? Let's think. For Koob being back.
Hey, there we go.
And how about for Brundon? He's a little sick.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why he wasn't in today.
Oh, I noticed that a lot. This place wasn't running as well as it normally is.
14 away. All right. So a couple weeks ago on Red Light District, we opened it up. We said we have 2 spots open for the F1 League. It's already set up. It's ready to go. At only 2 spots. We told you to send applications. You had 4 things or 5 things to answer. We got a lot of good ones. And listen, you guys all deserve to be in this league. But that's life sometimes. There's only 2 spots open. Joaquin and I.
There's not a lot of seats in F1.
No.
So we wanted it to mean something.
The third person that helped us will go unnamed, but we went through all of them and we landed on 2, and everybody was great. Again, don't be upset with us. There will be another seat opening next year with Cadillac.
Because Cadillac's coming in.
And maybe some guys drop out and we'll open up some more spots. You never know. Okay. Here we go. Gager, you can go ahead.
The first new team coming into the EST Fantasy F1
Hold on.
pool.
I want to see if we have a drum. I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
Go ahead.
The first nasty joining the EST 1 to 3 afternoon Fantasy F1 pool. I guess it's just EST. is Doug Bowles. Congratulations, Doug. Look, getting there is just half the battle. Now becomes the hard work here. So you will be getting an email from me with the link and the code to join the league. If you need any help, just let me know. I can put together a little bit of a how-to, but you just go to the F1 website, create an account, go to fantasy, start building your 2 teams to be added into the fantasy pool. But I can see what you do. So
What was the name again?
Doug Bowles.
Doug Bowles, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. C-Run says, Dusty doesn't even know he's in the league. Oh, yeah. Like you said, it's 24 times you got to check your lineup from here to December. It's not that
it's
hard.
Really. Yeah. Come on.
All right. Number 2. This gentleman, like many of the applications, was excellent. But he sent in a different style.
Little different style.
A nice PowerPoint presentation. The final one to join the EST F1 League. Congratulations and welcome to Mr. Barry Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. These 2 jabronis are in. This will be good. This is, and I think we'll get a little bit more participation out of a lot of these teams.
Shania T. I didn't make the cut. I'm out of here. All
That's
right. All right. So we're ready to roll.
Yes, we are ready to. It's almost lights out. So we have 3 days to set your teams, get the deadlines in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this first week.
Yeah, and welcome to the chaos that is the EST F1 League. It's going to be fun. Barry says, that's me. Bowles says, yay, I'll do my best, guys. Jen Cool says, so excited. Congrats to my hubby. Great stuff. That was awesome. Good job, Gage. Oh, that was fun. And once again, thank you to everybody who sent in applications. You guys and gals were awesome. They were great. Thank you for the effort.
This might be yours.
Who
knows?
Hey, and how about this? If one of our listeners finishes top 3, they can sit in a segment.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll have to have them.
Yeah.
If they're
top 3 finish gets you a nice little 15-minute segment with Joaquin and Hernan.
Perfect.
We can't talk Oilers, though.
No.
It's off the table.
Well, it'll be next year, so they'll be good.
They might have a new goalie.
That's terrible.
John Gibson will be the Oilers goalie, so there will be no more complaining.
Yeah.
Right?
We can't take it anymore.
Reed Wilkins has a great show lined up. He's coming up with J-Mill. They'll take you right up until 6. We're back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Download our show, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Continue to hit the thumbs up, and we appreciate the views. Thank you for your interaction on the Nasty Chat and on the River Korean Box 780-218-9999. We love you guys. We'll chat tomorrow. Chowders.